got an ally in Donald Trump. After all, he's the guy who forced the Saudis to curtail production in 2020 to drive up oil prices and oil industry profits. That's right. He made sure U.S. consumers paid more for gasoline. Ta-da!
So I want you to think about this. It's February the 3rd, 2025. The Democrats have lost the House, the Senate, and the White House. And now that they've lost basically everything in the government, they decide for the first time to tell the truth about gas prices under the Biden administration. Now they decide to tell the truth. That guy, I don't even know his name, that stood up and said that, he is the first person from the Democratic Party, from the Republican Party, independent, and he's the first politician in Washington, D.C. to stand up and say, this is what caused high gas prices. The thing that I've been saying for 3 years, he is the first person to get up and actually say that. The Democrats allowed the Republicans to lay all the responsibility of high gas prices, inflation, and everything at Joe Biden's feet. And the Democrats decided that their defense was going to be to just blame it on oil companies and to never breathe a word about the disastrous OPEC 2020 deal. That's what the Democrats chose to do. And if you are a Democrat, you should be pissed off right now. The people you support, as you can just see on this video, lied to you for years. They lied to you, and I told you they were lying. And I caught so much shit. I caught so much shit for telling you they were full of shit. Well, now they're admitting it. Now they're admitting it. Now that they've lost everything. Oh, and by the way, since they lost the White House, the House of Representatives, and the Senate, any gains they made are likely to be wiped away. You see, the reason they blamed everything on oil companies, they blamed everything on companies that exist in the United States that employ millions of Americans. The reason they did that was to push an energy transition, was to push renewable energy. And I get it. But you can do that and still tell the truth about what happened. You can do that and still try to hold Donald Trump accountable for the OPEC 2020 deal. You can absolutely do that, but they chose not to do that. They chose to lie to you every fucking day. Right here. Perfect example. Oil and gas companies are padding their profits. Remember when he said they're not drilling when they had literally doubled rig count? Democrats accuse oil companies of ripping off the American people on gas prices. This is a great article by CNN. Why oil companies are raking in record profits under Joe Biden. Do you know what's not mentioned one time in this article by CNN, written by Samantha DeLoya? Not one time, not one utterance of OPEC 2020. The largest driver of the record profits, the largest driver of high oil prices and high gas prices, the single largest driver was the OPEC 2020 deal, not mentioned one time. It was all the oil companies. Price gouging. They even went to great lengths to put up a fake price gouging bill. And they passed it in the House of Representatives. And people say, what do you mean it's fake? What do you mean? It's because it was fake. It was a scam. They told you the price gouging bill was going to bring down gas prices. They told you the price gouging bill was going to bring down gas prices permanently for Americans. And then they told you, oh, all the Republicans voted against it. They're for the oil companies. The lie about the price gouging bill is that it would do nothing to bring down gas prices. Nothing. There was no language in this about oil companies. This was about price gouging, which is when a retailer increases their prices in a state of emergency. That's what this whole bill was about. What happens during a state of emergency. They were telling you it was going to bring down gas prices every day for every American. A complete and total fabricated lie. They put up this legislation just to get Republicans to vote against it so they could use it as a political scheme. That's it. A complete fucking lie. And this is the one thing that I get the most pushback from regarding my followers. They don't like me talking about this. My followers will say, "Oh, I love Mr. Global. He always tells the truth, tells it like it is." You know, I believe that the way Democrats handled high gas prices and inflation and the narrative they chose to go with created a ton of apathy within independents and within their own party. And that's why they didn't show out and show up to vote. Now, I'm not saying that all of this, cost them every election. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that this was a massive failure on the Democrats' part that absolutely contributed big time to their losses. Big time to their losses. They could have used the truth to do so many things. They could have used the truth and they could have expanded on that, like with the pulling oil out of the SPR. They could have talked about the Donald Trump OPEC 2020 deal as an explanation as for why they were doing that. They could have used that for so many things that would have explained so many things. But when you just blame everything on oil companies, you limit the possibilities. And so there you go. Thanks.